Welcome everyone. Thank you very much for coming here and joining us. I hope that today is going to be a useful day for you, that you're able not just to learn about our program, but also network between each other, maybe learn about companies that you haven't met before as well. Okay, so before I start, I'd like to tell you a personal story, a personal Newton Fund story. So, Procarium is a vaccine development company. It has about 20 employees. Our co-founder, Ted Fjellman, co-founder of TechU, our company, is the CEO of this company, Procarium. And 3 years ago, he was sitting, just like you are right now, at the Newton Fund meeting, learning about how to a collaboration between UK and, does anybody know this flag? Mexico. So he was there, he was sitting, he's like, oh, I don't know, what's this Newton Fund thing? So he, after learning about the Newton Fund program, he went back to his research team and he said, okay, what do we need for the next 3 to 5 years? We're a small vaccine development company. We want to expand. We want to do more R&D. We need to scale up the production of our vaccines, the manufacturing, but we don't have that capability. So we're going to use this Newton Fund program to find a large biopharmaceutical company with which we can collaborate to produce our vaccines. So they investigated what kind of companies are in Mexico. And one of those companies is Probiomed. So when he went to Mexico, he had a list of companies and he met with several of them, and eventually Procarium applied for an Innovate UK grant, and together with Probiomed through CONACYT, which would be equivalent of Tubitac. And this was 2015, and in 2016 they were granted this fund, and they're going to finish their collaboration now in 2018, at the end of this year. So it was a very fruitful collaboration. Because of this collaboration, Probiomed is able to produce a patent to save. When you produce medication, you lose a lot of product, and that's not very cost effective, so they were able to produce that. So that was a very beneficial, and it's very likely that in the future they will continue to collaborate. So it's just a little story. We understand what it's like to go through that journey through this Newton Fund. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about TechU, who we are and what we do, so that you can understand a little bit about what the T-DEB journey is going to be like for you. So, TechU is a knowledge transfer broker. We design and deliver experiences internationally for people to learn from each other in the areas of science, technology, and innovation. The main people we work with are government, industry, and academic decision makers. And what we do is discovery trips. These are fact-finding missions. So a group of people like yourself, or in a government, or in a industrial sector, have an innovation plan for the next few years, and they want to learn from people like themselves, but in another country. People who've already solved their problems like what they're facing, and we take them to another country to learn that. But we also run workshops that help those companies and organizations identify innovation gaps. Sorry, the floor is makes a lot of noise. We also do international benchmarking, comparing innovation systems in one country to another, so that it helps you understand how to improve yours according to that. Where are other countries compared to ours? We mostly work in health and life sciences, but we also do research and innovation systems, and smart cities and digital economy. The main countries that we work with are the UK, Sweden, and Switzerland. We also work with Germany and the Netherlands, and now we're expanding our network here in Turkey as we meet you. Okay, let me show you what our work looks like. I'm showing you these examples so that you can get an idea of what kind of journey you might have if you're part of the T-DEB program. So we've done several trips to Switzerland. We took a delegation of people from the UK, from the Bioindustry Association. This is a membership group, a lobbying group of industrialists in bioindustry in the UK. They wanted to learn about how industrial collaborations work outside the EU, obviously because of Brexit. It's a good country to learn from. So in this area, we worked in biotechnology, healthcare, and understanding the Swiss industrial research. We also took a group of future industrial leaders to Switzerland from Sweden, and we met with companies such as you see here, Novartis, Roche, Nestle, University of Basel. In these kinds of fact-finding missions, we don't just have people sit down and have one-way conversations like I'm doing now. It's very important for us that you also get hands-on experiences, that you have visits and tours of facilities, that you have demonstrations, so that you actually learn, not just listen. And also, before you go, we prepare you with materials, background materials, everything you need to know, but in a digestible form, so that when you get there, you can have informed discussions. You're prepared, you know what to focus on, and you have all the information that you need. We also have matchmaking and networking exercises that we design and deliver. In this case, it was the Life Science Network, BioValley, in Switzerland. On this side, we had our UK Bioindustry Association companies, and in this side, we had the BioValley companies, and we had an activity for companies to learn from each other and matchmake. We also did a trip to Germany. In this case, it was a group of city mayors and regional mayors. In Sweden, they receive a lot of immigration, and they're trying to learn from Germany how to, in a very innovative way, integrate these immigrants into housing, jobs, and education. And a lot of city mayors in Germany are taking very innovative solutions, or applying very innovative solutions to integrate immigrants. So we visited not only mayors like themselves, it was very nice for them to meet mayors like themselves and talk to them about these problems they were facing, but also visiting research institutes and also think tanks like Konrad Adenauer Stiftung and Mindbox. One of the other things that we do in these fact-finding missions, when you go to another country, especially for fact-finding, we don't want you to worry about the logistics. Oh, where do I go now? Where's my taxi? Or my flight? Where am I going to stay? So as part of that, we also organize the logistics so that you can focus just on learning and reflecting and networking and thinking about how what you're learning applies to you and your work back home. A third project that we're working on, so obviously we have our own clients, the examples that I gave you, but we also work collaboratively. We're currently doing a 3-year Horizon 2020 project. It ends next year, so we only have about 6 months left. In this case, we're working with all of these organizations across Europe. Our job there is to connect policymakers with these organizations, and what they're doing is participatory science, getting citizens interested in science, appreciating science and technology. Okay, so a little bit of a quiz. Do you know who knows what T-DEB stands for?
Turkey debutantes.
Delights, English term?
Yes, excellent. Turkish delights and English breakfast, but really, It means UK Business Exchanges for Development in Turkey, or T-DEB. But it is Turkish Delights and English Breakfast. So because of our expertise, TechU's expertise in international exchanges and business exchanges, we were contracted by Innovate UK to deliver this Newton Fund project. And the aim of T-DEB is to facilitate and establish research and development collaborations between Turkey and the UK in these 3 areas. Why these 3 areas? Because that is the expertise and the network that TechU has. We're focusing on research and development, and it's very important to just highlight research means the development of products and services, anything to do with that, and development is the refinement or the perfecting of that product or service. And of course, this project T-DEB would not be possible without the tremendous support that we receive from our partners here in Turkey. We're working with Teknopark Izmir, with T-DEB here, ODTÜ Teknokent and Bilkent Cyber Park in Ankara. And throughout the project, we will be working with them because it's very important for us to continue to do work that is relevant for Turkey and Turkish companies. Without their help, we don't understand the Turkish context. Okay, the principles of T-DEB are, and I will come back to this at the end of the program. It's very important as part of the Newton Fund that the research and development collaboration addresses a need that is currently not met in Turkey. There's a particular issue or a problem, an underserved issue that is currently not being addressed. We focus on quality, not quantity. We could take 200 Turkish companies, take them all to the UK, put them in a room with another 200 companies in the UK and hope that maybe some magic will happen. That's one way of doing it, but we don't do that. We try and learn specifically about each of your needs. We create a profile, and based on that, we match you to companies that will be interesting for you to fulfill your R&D collaboration needs. We don't only work with small companies. Some of you have asked us and emailed saying, oh, I'm a very large company, is this for me? Yes, we do small, medium, and large enterprises. You've probably seen this in our website. Just take you through it briefly. Right now, we're in the needs assessment part of T-DEB. What is this? You will also notice in your schedule that at 3, you have needs assessment roundtables. These are very important for us to understand the specific challenges that you as companies and organizations are going through. We start in Turkey because we need to understand your innovation gaps and challenges. And by having these sessions and you sharing what you're going through really helps us to understand, so that then we can understand what kind of synergies there are with the UK. So you will have 4 sessions. They're going to be skills and recruitment, investment and non-dilutive funding, business development, as you see here, and R&D infrastructure are the 4 themes. This ends this week, actually, here in Istanbul. Tomorrow we have our final workshop. From these workshops then, and all the information that you have given and shared, we will select 15 companies from each theme for a total of 45 companies to move to the second stage of the program, stage 2, discovery trips to the UK, so that you can meet potential partners. Then in stage 3, your partner, hopefully you have 1 or maybe 2. Some people have asked, can I have 2? We'll see. Your partner will then come to Turkey. We'll bring them so that they can meet your team, maybe visit your company, your facilities, and most importantly, so that you can have a very specific, tailored mentoring partnership accelerator program. So a mentoring session just for you and your partner, so that anything you need to make that collaboration happen can be addressed there and then. And then finally, between November and March, in the UK, we will have a showcasing event. This is when the R&D project or activity that you will be working on will be presented to potential financiers. We can't say exactly who those will be because it depends on what kind of collaborations those will be. Are there any questions about this? So as you're learning about this and thinking about your R&D, I'd like you to think also about whether T-DEB is for you. Right now we're here. This is in November, between November and March. You will meet your collaborators here at some point. Is this enough time for your R&D? Is it good timing with the work you want to do? I'd like to encourage you to think about, and I'm sure you've done this already, what your R&D goals are for the next 2-3 years, and where something like this could benefit. Is it a good fit for the work that you would like to do? If there are any questions about this, please just let me know. And of course, none of this would be possible without the help of our wonderful team. You've communicated with Ekin, of course, but also behind the scenes, we have a lot of people who've helped a lot, Burak, Deria, and our advisors, Gökhan and Erman. And this is Ted Fjellman, whose story I was telling you about at the beginning. So he's CEO of Procarium. Okay, you've written a lot to Ekin. I think he answers maybe like 50 to 100 emails a day. And he receives a lot of questions from you. And if you've asked those questions, maybe other people are interested in the answers as well. So I'm just going to go through some of these. Very simple one. If I registered for one workshop but I came to another, am I still eligible? Of course, because eligibility to T-DEB is not based on which workshop you came to. It's based on your application, what you filled out online. How are companies selected to the discovery trips? It's based on the application that you did online, especially the second form. So there are two forms. The one that tells us about what are your expectations for a collaboration in the UK, and what exactly are you going to be working on? What specific challenge are you addressing? Okay, these are really important for us because it helps us to shape the discovery trip and choose which companies will attend. How many companies are attending? As I said, 15 people representing 15 companies for each of the themes. If you would like to take more than one person from your company, please come talk to us. We'll see what we can do. But for the time being, we only have funding to take one person from each company. Okay? What will the discovery trips look like? Again, we don't know which of you will come, what will be a good fit, but I can tell you that we will work really hard to tailor the program specifically to your needs. And it will have 3 parts to it. It will have an introduction to the UK innovation system in your particular sector. You will visit the companies that you're interested in, and there will be a lot of opportunities to also do networking with other companies in that ecosystem. How do you match us with companies? Again, the more information you give us about your company, the better we're able to understand what you need, and we create a profile based on your application and that information. And from our own network, as well as the knowledge transfer network of Innovate UK, we have a large pool of company and knowledge as well to be able to match you with companies. What is the value of T-DEB? Some people have said, well, I understand your program, but why, I could do this myself. And of course you can do this yourself. I mean, you are entrepreneurs. That's how you grow. You're very smart. But we have our own network, our own expertise, what I've shown you. We have the knowledge transfer network. And if a UK company, especially if it's a large one, is more likely to open their doors if they know that this is a Newton Fund Innovate UK program. Why would UK companies want to collaborate with Turkish companies? This is not about UK-Turkey, it's business. If a company wants, if there are synergies, if a company has something that you want and you have something that that company can use, then it works. As simple as that. Why is Innovate UK funding this? So there are two main objectives here that are being followed. So obviously we want to help UK companies to grow their R&D as well, but also we want to improve the image of the UK in the world, and thirdly, because of Brexit, as you know. Turkey is a growing and very innovative market as well. You've asked, what does T-DEB fund? And I'd like to also add, what does T-DEB not fund? So T-DEB, first of all, is obviously we're able to provide funds for the trips, both for you to visit the UK and for your partners to come to Turkey, but also the accelerator program for your partnership to develop, travel accommodation, and the showcasing event with potential financiers at the end. Okay, T-DEB is not about opening up the UK market, so we do not fund any activities that are about opening a branch in the UK or selling your products there. We would like that to be the end result, of course. As businesses and entrepreneurs, ultimately, that's how we grow. We only provide the partnership that will help you get there. So we do not have a pocket of money to fund R&D activities, and we do not fund marketing efforts. You've also asked, how can we protect our IP? So with any company that you collaborate, they will be equally worried about this. So obviously we can provide non-disclosure agreements and MOUs. If you don't have them already in English, we can provide them, and then Turkish lawyers can have a look. But usually it's the company that puts in the most effort. So if it's your IP, you get to decide which country will be the one where the legal disputes will take place, okay? This is just an example of the types of collaborations that we could have. So you could think about, I've talked to some of you already, and you have excellent ideas. Scaling up manufacturing is the one I gave you in the beginning. Maybe developing variations of your product, maybe using the other company's hardware. Market analyses as well, conducting maybe consumer behavior or focus groups, or looking at getting to know your potential market. Okay, so think of R&D. If you also, it's good to propose not only one, but maybe 2, 3 ideas for potential R&D that could work. And that way, if one doesn't work, maybe another one, we can explore another option. If you have questions about this, you can ask me now, or we have all day. Just come and find me, and we can talk more specifically.